Good morning. One of the main reasons why I wanted to coach basketball because we could control our environment, but it evidently, I didn't really coach baseball or softball because it's always raining and all that. But it was a different feel. You're getting ready to shoot a jump shot and the lights go out, and so it was different. Pitch black, couldn't see anything, and Notre Dame was very, very cordial to us and all that, and so I decided as a coach, and our coaching staff decided that we would hang around to try to finish the game because they really wanted to, and it made it difficult. I thought we played really, really well the first quarter, and their length and just their speed kind of hurt us. And defensive transition, they got a lot of easy layups in the second quarter, and we had a hard time scoring. The game was, they let us play, and I think it hurt us. Not getting to the line as much as we thought we could have the second quarter. We missed a lot of easy layups that we felt we got bumped and all. But it was a good game, and to move it was difficult. We had to warm back up after traveling 30 minutes from one side to the other. But, it's the first for everything, and we did. But, to play Notre Dame, classy program, classy coach, we really enjoyed the competition and see where you're at, To play one quarter with them was really good. And going away from the game, there's some things that we really did well against them, and we matched up in some certain situations. It's just that full court game, that transition. Defensively, we felt we were there a lot of times. We just couldn't stop them. They got some pretty easy layups and some pretty easy putbacks. Rebounding was a major factor, but good game. And then we go to the Southern Miss shootout in Hattiesburg and play a really, really good shooting team in Southeast Missouri State. I think they ended up with 10 threes that game and going overtime, and were able to find a way to win. Kids, it's just fun to coach these kids. They play hard. They never quit. And so we go into the Southern Miss game and played them pretty good till half and just kind of ran out of gas. Simone Fields didn't have her best game. She had been playing really, really well for us. I think she ended up with 8. Jalen Garden in pretty much every game so far. She's averaging 21 points a game, leading our conference in scoring. So she's playing really well. We just, that third person, Jasmine Thomas played well in the first 3 games, and then against Southern Miss, I think she was 0 for 9. So, and we kind of expected that from the freshmen, finding some consistency. But, it's still a learning process. We're still working hard, but I really love our team and the direction we're going in.
How much of that game was just the back-to-back and a young team and kind of a weird week and just kind of running, like you said, running out of gas?
And some coaching too. I probably, it's like I stayed away from the press against Southern Miss because I really wanted to work on our half-court game, and I thought maybe if we would have got after them a little bit more because we were really good at it, I think it could have been different. But we were staying with them. We actually had the lead for quite a while during the second half and felt pretty comfortable about it. But looking back on it, I think we should have maybe sped it up a little bit and pressed a little bit more. But there's a lot of factors in having a young team, and and they watched. They scouted us really good. They were triple teaming Simone and made it pretty difficult for her to score. And Jalen Garden didn't shoot the ball very well the first half. Now the second half, she came out and did some scoring, but we didn't shoot the ball extremely well. But a lot of factors, but it's kind of why you play them, it's kind of like playing in the conference tournament. You're going to play back-to-back, and you got to learn how to do that. So, and we're still in a learning process and everything. But, again, I was proud of our kids and how hard they play. And, it's fun to go into a locker room and look in their eyes, and you can tell they nothing. You're playing the number 1 team in the country. That didn't bother them at all. They want to play, and they'll give you their best effort, Just hopefully we can get more consistent at our best effort.
You kind of know what you have in Jalen and Simone. You figure that out pretty early. How important is next month before you start conference to find that third option?
Well, I think the third option is going to be Jasmine Thomas. I think we know that. She's very talented. Probably our best point guard as far as for distributing the ball. She can pass. She can play in the full court. She can score. It's going to be how consistent she's going to be. I think that's going to be the main thing. But she's playing really well. Defensively, she's getting a little bit better, and I think that's her thing. And rebounding, we're on them about rebounding, and it's difficult for them to transition from high school to Division I games a little bit faster. But I think Jasmine's going to be one that we can count on. And I felt that that Gabby Alexander kind of started to play a little bit better. I think she had 10 points against Southern Miss, and she's getting a little bit more aggressive on the boards, which we need from her. So, we're finding some different different lineups in that situation. But I think we're getting closer to where we want to be.
Was last week really a good kind of barometer of where you are, where you need to go, considering you face the top team in the country and then two teams that are probably kind of even with you?
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of tell, you can tell the difference. Especially, it's funny how it's in the full court, not so much. I thought it would have been in the half court that we would have struggled a little bit more with them, but their transition, their offensive transition is just phenomenal. I mean, they get the ball and they're gone, and then all of them can handle it at 6'4", 6'5", and pass. And I mean, they're number one shooting team in the country, field goal percentage. I mean, they just don't miss, So it makes it difficult, they make stops and you don't, and then you're trying to play catch up. So it was different. And with Southern Miss, they were very athletic. They're a lot like us, they can press and they can. And I think at the first half we only had 5 turnovers, so we're getting better at. That was some of the things that we were really concerned about going into the season. But we're getting better at handling the ball and making better decisions. Now we got to take a little bit better shots, and it's starting to come together. I really do, I really do like the team and the direction it's going. It's been a lot of fun.
I know you're a big practice guy, and I know you don't like finals just because you get away from the court a lot. Is there more concern this time around with having such a kind of a younger squad that plays key roles of trying to pick things back up in time for conference?
Yeah, and I really do though. When you get into finals, and I will play the 1st and the 10th, so we'll have some game time off, but we'll practice during that time, and and just work on a lot of fundamental stuff, trying to keep them going and all that. And then from that time on, is to me the best part of the season is when we get out of class and we have that month off that we can really try to do 2-a-days and really try to focus a little bit more on exactly what we want us to do, not so much what the other teams are doing. So, I mean, it's fun for us. It's like you say, our whole staff is like that. We really enjoy the practicing part of our job. I wish we could do more of it.
Coach, in recent years, y'all would have trouble at times when people would just pack it in the zone. Could you knock down enough jump shots against the zone? Are you worried that this year could be where people pack it in on Simone and try to take her out, and can you get enough scoring elsewhere if they just sell out and take Simone?
Sure, I think with Jalen and Jasmine Thomas as well as Troy Swain, I mean, they can shoot the ball, so I think you're going to have some other options, more so than we had in the past. Kiki and Kia weren't known for shooters. They were more scorers than trying to get to the rim. So when they packed it in, there was really nowhere for us to go. And with these kids, Jalen's a combination of she can shoot it, she can drive it, and so is Troy and Jasmine Thomas too. So it gives us some more options. I think people are hopefully they do play a little bit more zone and we shoot it. We get those open shots, and we're working extremely hard on that part of the game. Matter of fact, yesterday that was one of the biggest parts of our game, working on zone offense and making sure that we're prepared for that if it does happen.
What's the new Cajun Dome kind of mean for this program? What can it do as far as recruiting, as far as just having just a really nice school?
Well, when I first came here, we were playing in Earl K, and it's like between Dr. Salvo and Scott Farmer, I said you can't. I didn't feel you could build a Division I program playing in Earl K. If you're going to recruit Division I, you got to have a facility, and it is what it is, and they were able to get us in the dome, not all the time, but for the most part. And so we started recruiting, even though people were negatively recruiting against UL and saying we were playing in a middle school gym. For us to get in the dome was big. And now when you walk in the dome, there's some identity for us. Like there's women basketball pictures of players and all that. And I mean, I think that's phenomenal that was one of the main things that I wanted to do with this program was when I came is to have some identity. And I mean, now yesterday walking through it, it's got some identity. We're there, we're in there. We feel that's our home now, and I think we play really well in the dome. And some people think it's too big, but I'm gonna tell you what, when you recruit kids and they come in and they see what we're doing and what the dome's looking like, it's a big factor. It's a big factor if we're gonna want to continue to recruit better kids, and throughout the state and throughout Texas. I mean, our recruiting class was really good this year, and a lot of it had to do with the facilities, it's not all of it, but boy, I tell you what, when you don't give them a reason not to come, it's big. And so, you know, we're lucky that we were able to be put in that position from our administration.
What do you like just about, from a basketball coach perspective, when you came?
The dome itself, I mean, you know, you look at the floor and, you know, just the details of what they did with the floor for recruiting. But then, you know, I'm not comfortable yet of the lighting. You know, the lighting is all on the floor, but if I shot a couple of shots yesterday, and as I'm looking out, and I mean, I know you're supposed to be aiming, I see darkness, you know, it just feels different to me, you know, and I think that nobody complained, though. I didn't ask anybody yesterday or anything, but none of the players really. I thought we shot the ball well, but it's just different. It seems like it's not as bright, even though when you're sitting in the stands, it looks brighter on the floor. When you're on the floor, it's opposite because you're kind of looking out. So it's a little different. It's a little concerning to me is how are we going to, you know, play in. I mean, they're telling me everybody in America is playing in that type of lighting. I've never played in 30 years or coached in a game that had that type of lighting at all. So we'll see. But it makes, I mean, it's a beautiful place. I know our kids were excited. And I think the most exciting thing for me as the coach is the fact that we're in there, you know, we have some acknowledgement, you know, and hopefully we can continue to grow that and continue to work and get better at it. But yeah, the dome is, I mean, yeah, I'm sure all of y'all seen it. It's a beautiful place now. Now we just got to win games, right, Kevin?
Coach, you said it's still a learning process for your team. Where do you feel your team has grown the most early on in the season, and what do they still have to work on?
I tell you what, man, I was impressed yesterday. I don't know if we're just that bad with our second group, but we worked on full court, pressure 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, all the way. And I'm gonna tell you what, we can press, man. We're trapping, we're running and jumping, we're doing some things that I, as a coach, really like to do. I just need more of them. You know, we're doing it about 8 deep. I'd like to try to be about 10 deep, where we could play, you know, a little bit faster on the offensive side and able to get other teams to play a little bit faster when we're on defense, you know. So that is really good for us. I think our weakness is on the offensive side. We're still not as comfortable running some of these sets that we're running, and especially, like Kevin says, the zone's going to be, I mean, we're going to see some zone. And I think we have a lot of work on our zone offense. I really do. You know, just making sure we're comfortable and penetrating the gaps, and you know, it's a learn dribble follows, and just a lot of things that our kids aren't seeing. You know, and Simone feeling comfortable being doubled and getting the ball out. You know, but you know, it's a process, and I think we need some work on that part of our game.
Okay. Everybody good?
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you.